So we brought a concept called DevZoo, where in the morning we think of an idea, we put it in post-it notes, we are actually doing it together with Amazon Web Services, and we are using their working backwards method to kind of outline the press release and outline the idea. And then for the rest of the day, which actually only leaves about 4 hours, the guys behind me are creating a prototype to make the solution live. And then, of course, one of the requirements for this whole process of a DevZoo, you need to build something, and then you need to go back to the user and validate it and get the feedback.
Hello and welcome to another Coffee with Mr. IoT. My name is Robert Schmidt, Deloitte's Chief Futurist, also known as Mr. IoT. Today on my show, I'm here with Helena Lisachuk, our Global IoT Lead, and actually, I gotta give you credit, really the master of everything that's going on here at IoT Solutions World Congress. Thank you for what you're doing, and
My
welcome
pleasure.
to the show.
Thank you very much, and as always, it's great to be on your show. It's like an honor to talk to Mr. IoT.
I have a feeling you're much happier to be on the show today, where you're 2 days in at the end, than yesterday morning. Is that true?
Absolutely. Oh, you read my mind. But we're not there yet, but we're getting there. We're moving in the right direction.
Are you feeling better?
Yes. It's a great event, but it's so good that it's a little bit overwhelming.
You and I talked a week before the show, or 2 weeks, and even through the phone, I could tell how much work it was, and I don't know. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. I really have a fun time.
Great.
I mean, even you setting up this space for me to interview people has been fantastic. Thank
Wonderful, of course, absolutely. I think it's important. I think it's all about people and what people think and what people feel.
I've had more interviews here than I've ever done in 2 days, and it's been great. So there is an amazing booth. We have like all these different things here. Can you tell us a little bit about the booth?
Yes, okay, so all credit goes to the team. But we took chances, we had some risky ideas. They were believers in our team that prepared this all, that let's really do something extremely different this year. And I think they nailed it, and it's great. So why is it different? Number one, every year we always want to show as many demos as we want. That makes kind of the space a little bit busy, yes?
Got it, yeah.
And then, what is the one big thing you want people to walk away with? It's hard to remember. Once you see 10 things and you're like, oh yeah, well, okay, so the DevZoo movie, okay, that's good. But there isn't like one big wow factor. So choice number one we made, we will only have one demo, which is fantastic, makes segmented reality demonstration right behind us. People could experience it. It's a massive factory that comes from the ground, so it's all great. So that was decision number one, and I'll stand by it.
And I didn't make it easy for you, did I, when I said it needed to be a 30 by 30 space?
No, we first wanted to confirm the dimensions, because we didn't think we heard you right. No, and it took about a couple of weeks for the marketing team to comprehend the magnitude of how many tiles will have to be created. So it was quite a bit of effort, yes. But I'm extremely happy we did it. I think it really stands us apart, and it attracts the people, it creates the conversation, and it gives the experience, and this is what we want to do. That was number one, and thank you for allowing us to kind of bring this whole concept here. Item number two, and this is also new, and I believe we took some chances doing that. We wanted to show that Deloitte in IoT is not just about creating the PowerPoints or building the strategy or talking about the value creation and creating the Excels. It's actually about creating the prototypes and giving that experiential experts basically giving the experience to our customers of what the solution could look like. And it's better you see it versus you talk about it and you have like 50 different PowerPoint slides, right? So we brought a concept called DevZoo, where in the morning we think of an idea, we put it in post-it notes, We are actually doing it together with Amazon Web Services, and we are using their working backwards method to kind of outline the press release and outline the idea. And then for the rest of the day, which actually only leaves about 4 hours, the guys behind me are creating a prototype to make the solution live. And then, of course, one of the requirements for this whole process of a DevZoo, you need to build something, and then you need to go back to the user and validate it and get the feedback. So you need to do it all in only 8 hours or so. So the guys are extremely busy. They're building the day number 2 solution. Not sure what it's going to be. It's going to be a big surprise. But we wanted to actually open up the foundry, open up the kitchen, and let the world see what we do and what we can do. And that's another, I believe, great plan that has been very, very well executed.
How did you come up with the idea of DevZoo? Why is zoo?
Well, there are a couple of very creative people behind me that take the, let's say, the wording and the naming credits. I just thought it was awesome. When you go to the zoo, you expect a lot of frantic behavior of animals, right? And sometimes it's unpredictable and sometimes it's frantic. It's always fun to watch. So there is an element of a show. Oh my God, how nice. Hello. Yes. So I feel like...
said, by the way, in case you can't only see us, so this is why we're talking to each other,
yeah.
But Helena just said hi to someone because everybody here knows Helena.
Well, and I feel like I am in the zoo because people just came over to take some pictures because they thought observing us is really entertaining. But anyway, so zoo has momentum, dynamics, it's fun to watch. There is a particular element of chaos. That's what you associate when you hear the word zoo, and also people love to come and watch. So we did put a glass wall, and we have a lot of people watching it from the outside, what's going on. And our developers are so active and they just love it. And look, I mean, how often do you get to like code nonstop with the whole world watching you through the glass window? Not often.
So I have to admit something. I might take that DevZoo idea and expand on it for us next year. So I'm going to give you all the credit, but we'll see what we do around that. Number
Great.
one. Number two, I got to ask you, zoo and animals. I'm going to call myself a monkey. Which animal would you like to claim for yourself?
Wow. Honestly, my most favorite animal. And that doesn't mean that I am that animal. I just, every time I see that animal, I say, wow, I admire that animal. It's a black panther.
Black panther,
That's
very
the
elegant,
wow
very
effect
majestic.
for me. The moment I see that, this is it.
Not too far off. Hey, you look, that got it. That's the interview for me.
All right,
Yeah,
we're done.
You might have to put this at the end of the whole thing.
Yes, that's fine. It's cut.
Okay.
So the boost number 1, let's show something. Objective number 2, let's make sure we talk about something, right? And that's where the whole program comes into play, because there are like 430 speakers, and some sessions are, super, super deeply technical. Some are kind of across industry. Some of them are about specific use cases. So we want to make sure we have the strongest sessions, preferably on the main stage every year. And this year, I believe we were quite successful because we touched on many topics of future of manufacturing. We talked about blockchain. We had a great session today about the future of air travel with wonderful panelists who had so much fun there they didn't want to get off stage, that they kept talking. And then we had also our keynote, which of course you facilitated, about the human side of technology and how different individuals react towards adopting it and how they feel about it, which is different as well. And then the last one, which is maybe I should have started there. We are here because we want to be with our customers and we want to strengthen our existing relationships and build new ones. And I believe we are very successful this year.
The results about we talked about yesterday in the keynote about positivity in technology, did the results surprise you?
There were a couple that surprised me. Overall, no. They didn't. Actually, some of them I thought were better than I would have predicted if I
Really?
did my own survey. Yes.
Which ones did you think were better?
Well, I think the whole topic of IoT to be in the 55%, though we say it's a mainstream for industrial players who understand how to derive the value. I believe for majority of population, because the consumer IoT didn't really kick in that much, right? And smart cities are not always necessarily associated with IoT. I didn't expect the high score. It's great. It came up on top. It was perfect for this event. Well, I didn't expect it. Yeah. So that was one, and I think what was really, really cool to see is it was a learning experience for me is how different countries responded and what the sentiment was. Yes, that was interesting.
Well, I have to say I was happy that Spain was so high up, given that we're in Spain. I can't really explain why, but it was great to see.
We'll need to do phase 2 research to really understand. Yes.
So you talked about a lot of the panels. One panel you didn't mention was Women in Tech.
Yes, there is.
You personally invest a lot of time into
Of course.
this.
Yes.
I'd love to hear a little bit from you, and I also have a personal question about this.
Of course. All right. So, I think it's the second year we are doing it. First year was a pilot, and we thought that this is kind of a hot topic. So why not? And it was kind of obvious that less than 10% of attendees of this event are ladies, and even less of that are executives and leaders. So we wanted to just kind of explore the topic. And first year we brought a couple of great speakers. It became a big success, and it made kind of a news here locally and also in the industrial space. And we thought we would just dedicate 3 hours today, and it's still running. I finished one of my panels, need to go back to kind of do the proper closure. But it's important to talk why we don't have enough women in technology. But it's not just women, it's about diversity topic. We don't want to make it gender only. It's just about age, it's about different perspectives, it's a different cultural backgrounds, it's about different ethnical backgrounds. So we are bringing that up because I truly believe in diversity, and it cannot be forced. And if you want to have most comprehensive diverse solutions, you need to have a cross-functional diverse teams. And that's going to be the topic of our next conversation in about 30 minutes. How do you get there as a company? Because I believe all of us can benefit from it.
So that's my question for you, my personal question. What can I do to be a better, bigger ally for diversity as a white male?
Well, hey, look, your shirts are already step number 1. Huh? The glass is step number 2, so that's a wonderful step in the right direction. But I think to be serious, I think there are 2 actions we came up when we talked about navigating the executive ladder with the ladies. The advice we were telling to the audience was that you need to have a mentor, and you need to have a supporter, and you need to have an advocate. So you can be the advocate to the young, talented ladies. It doesn't need to be ladies, just even young talent around you, or regardless, just being an advocate, genuine advocate, would help the cause. That's number 1. Yes, most of the time it's not there because you're building up teams. So make sure you build diverse teams. Yeah.
So I was going to ask you about this advocate mentorship thing. Is this something where I go and offer my advocacy and my mentorship, or is this something where someone comes and asks me for it? And yes, I'm willing to. I'm open, but I'm just curious.
So with mentorship, normally you would be approached. Can you be my mentor, please? With advocacy, normally that's something you offer, because it's that this is the whole purpose of being an advocate, because you need to have advocacy.
I want to close with a personal question, and I'm curious what your answer is. Who were your mentors in your life? Whom were you looking up to?
Oh my God.
Guiding you?
Oh my God, I have so many. And let's be honest, I never thought I will end up here, because I just kind of didn't know. It was not a deliberate choice. or sequence of steps. I was just kind of doing things I enjoyed that gave me energy, and that's it. That was sort of how my career grew. I did have a couple of extremely strong individuals, leaders who were my mentors. One being the president of my software company where I worked. He was German, extremely rigid, taught me to pay attention to facts and be very confident in a boardroom. I also had a mentor who was a CIO of my customer, which was a very large, it wasn't formal mentor, but it was phenomenal. It was a large medical system in Midwest in the US, and she provided more like advocacy, coaching. And it was so early in my career that back then I didn't even realize how valuable it was, but I look back at that and some of the lessons learned. And of course, I'm surrounded by my wonderful colleagues, and not that I want to kind of like say things that are not true, because it's absolutely true. I learn everything every day. And from my perspective, this is kind of about fully admitting that many people on your team could be 10 times smarter than you are, and that's your job to unlock it and let them be smart, and for you to listen. And that's my whole approach. This is why we're here every year. We have so many people, and they're 10 times smarter than I am. I know what I'm good at. I'm good with bringing people together, but as far as execution, so many people can do it better than me. So as long as you kind of have that, you learn from each other, and everybody's happy.
Helena, thank you for what you do. Thank you for bringing DevZoo here. Thank you for supporting our efforts to do the show here, and thank you for being on the show. I know you have a lot going on, so that was a big time commitment. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Of course. Thank you.
And with that, we've come to the end of another coffee chat. If you missed any of today's show or previous shows, check out our playlist. Search on YouTube for Coffee with Mr. IoT. Thank you for watching.